expectations? What are your expectations from the workshop?
Expectation of the workshop is that basically we have some contours clear for the two subgroups to work now. We are setting these two groups, one on what are entitlements for ecosystem and livelihoods, and the other one on the conflict resolution mechanism from a legal and institutional perspective. There will be two subgroups working for the next 6 to 8 months. So this is a starting point where the group will get a lot more inputs to set its agenda and what are the issues to cover, so that they can work on these issues, and within about 6 months we will come out with a position paper on that. So this workshop is lead to that. It had a very small beginning around 2004, I think, when WWF had taken the initiative to document a few case studies on water conflicts and things, and that has now today grown into a larger initiative where nearly, I would say, about 70 to 80 institutions are connected, and individuals have all been part of this whole loose network called the Forum for Policy Dialogue on Water Conflict in India. During the first phase of the forum's work, I think the whole emphasis was trying to understand different types of water conflicts, and many have been connected with that effort. And it has come out in an interesting book which has been published by Routledge, which has documented most of these case studies about different types of conflicts. Similarly, EPW also came out with a special issue on water conflicts, which also gave a lot of visibility and to the issues which we have been talking about. Presently, we are into what we call broadly as a second phase of the forum, in which the whole emphasis is, one, to continue some of the work related to understanding, documenting, analyzing some of the conflicts, and also shift the gear to what we call as a conflict resolution mode to some extent, as well as to conflict prevention. And I'm also happy to say that in the first phase of the forum, WWF had given some of the financial support required to hold some of this work together. And in the second phase, RGM, and in fact we have a couple of representatives from RGM here today for this workshop, has been, this will understand the importance of this whole work. They came forward and has offered partial support to the work. And in fact, this whole workshop is also part of that support. Now coming to the workshop, I would say that in fact this whole workshop, the theme, if you have seen, basically what you call entitlements and water allocation for livelihoods and ecosystems. And the second theme of the workshop is the broadly what you call the legal institutional dimensions of conflict resolution. Actually is part of this whole second phase of the work. In fact, the whole deliberations today and the inputs coming from this the workshop would directly go into the working of the forum and things too. So that because the last 3-4 years of working as part of the forum, we have realized that these are two critical issues. In fact, the whole conflict and polarization around needs for livelihoods versus the whole question of water required for ecosystem needs, or what we broadly call as environmental flows and things, has been at the core of some of the conflicts. And the second dimension, we need to be very serious about conflict resolution, then, or even preventing some of these conflicts, then we need some understanding and a social consensus regarding these two issues. So, forum in the next year or so, we are planning to take this process forward, and we would consider this workshop as the beginning of this process of this. We are also trying to set up two subgroups to lead these two themes, and the inputs, the discussions and the points which coming from this 2-day workshop would directly flow into the working of these two subgroups, and maybe within the next 6 to 8 months, we hope to come up with some kind of position paper on these two critical issues by the forum, which can be taken up for larger dissemination, outreach, and creating a much societal consensus among the different stakeholders in the water sector. So we consider, we in forum consider this workshop a very important one. And that's why we kept it as a much more of a business-like in terms of a more of a brainstorming style to the whole workshop, so that most of the people who come here should get a chance to speak. We have kept the presentations to the minimum. Only 2 key presentations will be there just to start the whole process in terms of the discussion. Otherwise, more of a group work and discussions and things, so that all of us get a chance to make our points and things. As some of you might have seen, the program sheet is pretty tight packed, so I would request all of you